Welcome back to your live continuing coverage of CES 2018 on BeTerrific. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us. We are an official media partner. We're very proud of that. We're high atop Central Hall here at the Las Vegas Convention Center, and I've got Nicolas from Diabilive on. By the way, Jenny is watching in our Twitch chat, and he said I should get on a hoverboard and ride. The technology is advanced, make them so much smoother. I did the other day. I got on a DGL one, and that reminds me, if you've missed any of our coverage, you'll be able to check the archives on youtube.com/BeTerrific next week to check up on all the action you missed. Nicolas from Diabilive is joining us. Nicolas, this is a company that you created with your co-founder to help people monitor their diabetes via an app.
That's absolutely correct. It's just an app, and that creates an ecosystem for diabetic patients. So we help them on the medical side, and we help them also on their private life to become autonomous. Because when you have diabetes, one of the very difficult things is you're not autonomous anymore. You need to prick yourself all the time. You need to get insulin, whether you have type 1 or type 2 diabetes, even though we manage both.
So both my grandfathers had diabetes. My father has diabetes, and it's a very hard disease to manage. Talk about some of the things people have to go through when they have diabetes. I mean, they have to constantly be checking their blood, then managing insulin levels. Today there are pumps that do that for them, but a lot of people don't want to wear a pump. Also, some people want to only wear a pump that checks their insulin level, that doesn't actually feed them the insulin, because you have to have a port for each, right? A port to check and a port for the actual insulin. And so it becomes a very challenging thing. Now, if you have a diabetic incident, whether you have low blood sugar or high blood sugar, you don't even realize you're having it in many cases. You think you're fine. You can become very onerous and hard to deal with. And in fact, I would liken it to almost becoming extremely drunk. So what are some of the challenges that people with diabetes face, and then how can you help them?
So the biggest challenge, exactly as you said, is to level out and balance their diabetes, because diabetes, the problem is it goes high and it goes very low. When it's low, you can have a coma, you can die, you can become blind, you can have problems with your legs, and it's a terrible disease. So the way our system works is it manages the physical activity, it manages the food intake, it manages the glycemia level, because we connect with all glycemia tools that will give the glycemia level. And then based on these three data, we create a fourth block that will calculate the exact amount of insulin people need to inject themselves. So we have somebody who's been using it for over 2 years now, and she used to be all over the place with comas all the time. And now, from 34, 35 problems a month, she only had 3 to 4.
Now, this is very important. It's very good, and it's helping people, and I like that. This is the innovation that I like most, and you won an innovation award here at CES 2018.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very much. Very proud of that.
So there are all these devices that take your glucose level and connect to your device, like your smart device. So that helps. But what about the food? How do you monitor the food intake? Do I have to manually go in and go, oh, I had Pringles today. Yesterday I had French fries. I had a bagel this morning.
So either you do that, because you can do that because we have a web app, so you can either do it on the web or on your app. But what we do also is you can scan it with your cell phone and scan anything you eat. So I ate fish, I ate meat, whatever, you scan it coming from the supermarket, and then it goes immediately into the system, and then immediately the system will know already roughly your glycemia. But that combined with the glucometer that people use all the time will give a very, very precise idea.
When I scan a bag of potato chips, it doesn't know how many potato chips I have. So how do I tell it I ate the whole bag, I ate half the bag, I ate a third of the bag?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is you can say, if it's, sorry, I'm being French, it will be in kilos. So if you eat 1 kilo of bag, you can put 1 kilo. If you eat half a bag, you put 500 grams. So it's just as simple as that.
Do you have, obviously you have metric, do you have US?
Yes, we have US. We're waiting for FDA approval at this stage. So
what's the testing process like to get FDA approval?
So we're the only one in the world to have this system. So for FDA approval, we need to do a clinical test. So we need to find a hospital. That hospital needs to agree to take on the product for 3 to 6 months, use it, give a report back to the FDA, and then the FDA will give its answer.
Do you have a hospital?
we're looking for one, and it's looking pretty good.
Okay,
on the
that's
East
great.
Coast.
That's great. Yeah. That's wonderful. It's a long process, so this could be 2 or 3, maybe months, or maybe
Yeah,
even
well, that's it. We're hoping
a year from now.
Latest end of the year.
Yeah.
We're hoping by the summer.
Okay.
But we're very optimistic.
And how did you come up with this idea? I mean, was this something with you and your co-founder suffer, or have somebody in the family who suffers from diabetes, or is this something that you guys just decided we want to help people?
No, my co-founder's mother has had diabetes for 30 years. And she went on vacation to his place about in 2015 and had a very bad incident of hypoglycemia. And he thought, I've had enough of seeing my mother suffer so much. So he said, don't worry, Mom, I'm going to spend the weekend looking on the internet. I'm sure something exists. I'll get it for you. Monday morning, nothing. So he thought, well, I'll just make one. And he spent 800 hours, got the app, won all the prizes across Europe, and now decided to create the company.
Do you think that this technology can then be used for other ailments?
Absolutely, because this technology is basically an anticipation of the doctor's protocol. So any disease like cancer, like thyroid, like that needs very heavy protocols, we could manage later on. At this stage, we're only launching diabetes, but we're looking for other diseases.
Were you guys software engineers before? Were you in this space at all? I mean, to do this is not easy.
It's not easy. No, I mean, we both have backgrounds of, at least we're into college in computer science degrees, but we're in business, both of us. His passion is about coding, and that's why he did for 800 hours on the side
he
of
did
his
the
own.
whole coding himself?
Everything.
Wow. And then you guys, did you have to raise any capital, or did you shoestring this all?
We raised €500,000 because what's the most expensive is this FDA approval.
Right.
So in the US, and then we have to do the same thing in Europe, and then the same thing in Asia.
But it's
So that's very
available now in Europe.
It's not even available in Europe. Which in Europe will be available sooner. We have tests ongoing, and where one person's been using it. His mother has been using it for over 2 years.
Okay.
And in Europe, we should have it earlier than in the US because it's a little bit faster because we have a lot of doctors who've already approved it.
Now, so just out of curiosity, this is the one thing I'm not sure I understand. When I take insulin, when I take my blood and I get a glucose meter, it doesn't tell me how much insulin to give myself?
Today, no, nobody does.
Nobody does.
So today you just do it. You have a protocol from your doctor.
You're approximating.
Exactly.
I think I know that that diabetics approximate. They go, it's low, I'll take this much.
Yeah, I think I feel a little bit high. Well, then I should, but sometimes they feel high when actually they are low.
It's kind of a bad system.
Exactly.
It's the best we can do currently, but it's
that's
a
the best
bad
thing
system.
we can do. System.
And
exactly.
And the pumps, they don't do it. They do about the same thing too.
The pumps, it's difficult. The pumps because you need to change them regularly. You need to have a catheter inside your body. So normally you change the pump every 3 days. The pump we can link to a pump and we can tell the pump how much insulin to give at the exact level. The pump is a little bit better, but as you said before, very few people like to get a pump. About 10% of the market of diabetes said they want to have a pump because it's constricting.
It's invasive.
I mean, yeah, invasive.
And it's long term. It's not like you get the port
Yeah.
now and a week from now or a year from now they take the port out and you're still good. You have to have the port, and if you're going to have the one that pumps insulin, 2 ports.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. So that's why our system is not invasive. It's easy to use. It's an app. Very easy. Even this 75-year-old mother is using it. So we're.
What's the business model? Are you going to charge for the app?
Subscription. Yeah. So it's $20 a month.
Yeah.
And in France and in Europe, social securities are taking 80% of the cost.
I think in the U.S., if you get it FDA approved, you might be able to get the insurance companies to pay for it.
Absolutely.
Or at
That
least
would be
part
the
of
next
it.
step. That would be the next step. Absolutely.
Very cool. And so people go to Diabilive.
.com.
Yep.
You get all the information. Website's on 7 languages. The app is in 7 languages. So and you'll get all the information.
Well, you guys don't work hard.
Now, it's just the two of us.
7 languages. My God, I can't even speak one.
Yeah, I'm struggling in English too, so.
It's a hard language.
I know.
I've been trying to master it since I was like 2. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to speak.
Okay, me too.
Nicolas, really great stuff. Diabilive.com, Diabilive.com. You can, I guess, track the progress there. In about a year, you'll be able to get the app for your phone. $20 a month is what it'll be. That's very nice. It's got the price point ready. So just remember to tell your doctor and ask and kind of keep track of it. And I don't know, maybe you can tell them a hospital that they could do a clinical trial with if they're right on the border of it, but maybe you could find one if you know. I know some people too. If you get into a pickle, we know some hospitals BeTerrific. We could maybe
Great,
make
thank
a connection.
You. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much. He's Nicolas.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
Michael. It's Diabilive.com, Diabilive.com for diabetes monitoring. They won an innovation award here at CES 2018. We'll be back with a lot more live from CES 2018 right after this. Don't go anywhere. You are the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. Take us away, Rory.